All right. Good evening, everyone. And it's a pleasure to have us again on today's Safeoclock Health and Safety Interactive Workshop. So, you all know me. My name is Johnson Wala. So, as our culture has been, we start with a brief presentation, which can be led by any of us. So, I'm starting the presentation today. So, after the presentation, we'll now give room for others to share their opinion and share their knowledge on this particular topic. So today's topic, we are talking about building safety. And there is a celebration going on this month of May, and it's known as Building Safety Month. So like we all know, we try to use this our platform to sensitize ourselves about major celebrations, especially when it has to do with health and safety or when it's related to health and safety. So today we are talking about the building safety impact on our daily lives. And this is in commemoration with the Building Safety Month that is being celebrated this month of May. The theme for this year's Building Safety Month is called Game On. And as we are going to see in the subsequent slides, is supported or is propagated by International Code Council, the ICC. So in subsequent slides, we'll look at the history of this building code, how we started, what it's all about, and while we do the celebration, then we'll look at the building safety impact on our individual lives, and then we'll conclude by talking about health and safety professionals. Where do we come in? Where our own, what is expected of us, and what is the impact that our profession does in building safety. So let's look at the Building Safety Month. It's an awareness session that used to emphasize on the importance of building safety in protecting lives. We all agree that everybody, or let's say majority of people, live under buildings. Even if you don't live under buildings, you work under buildings. So building protects lives, and building also should be adequately or should be safe to ensure that it protects lives. So the quality of our daily lives also depends on the quality of the building, the quality of air in the building, the safety measures in that building. It depends interestingly on the quality of life we are going to have. If the building is not safe, or if the building is prone to unsafe conditions, then we might be also in danger. So that is why the quality and the safety of buildings cannot be overemphasized. So the celebration is to emphasize on the importance of building safety. That is why it's given a whole month to do this continuous reminder that buildings should be built safely. It's not something that you just wake up, start building, no design, no planning, no proper structural placement. And while those things are going on, health and safety cannot be neglected. So this celebration raises awareness about the critical role of the building codes and the regulations in the structural integrity, especially in fire safety, in accessibility homes, workplaces, even public spaces. So safety cannot be relegated, and that is why the entire 1 month is dedicated to building safety. By showcasing the real-life examples of safety measures in preventing disasters, also highlighting the tangible benefit of adhering to safety standards. Then what this Building Safety Month also does is to encourage everyone to get involved. Individuals, workers, safety professionals, everyone to get involved in ensuring that building is safe and also sustainable, as we going to see. So let's look at the history of Building Safety Month, how it started, how the code of conduct started. Initially, it started in 1915. The building officials and code administration was formed to create the first national building code. We are talking about USA here. So in 1927, the Uniform Building Code was introduced by the International Conference of Building Officials. In 1972, the Council of American Building Association was formed to unify these codes. Okay, then in 1994, the groups, that's the Uniform Building Codes and the Council of American Building Officials, it was merged together, now known as International Code Council in 1994. So entirely, the ICC, the International Code Council, was initiated to promote awareness of building safety and critical role of code officials. What is the major purpose? The major purpose is to emphasize the importance of adopting and enforcing up-to-date building codes. So this is the history, and that is where we are now. The International Code Council, ICC, is the one enforcing these building codes in the entire America, and other countries who do not have theirs yet, or most of them are working in line with the ICC codes to ensure building safety. The purpose is to emphasize the importance of using up-to-date building codes and building sustainable buildings and ensure that the building structures are resilient. That is the major purpose of merging these codes and forming this International Code Council. So why do we need building safety? Why should building safety be taken seriously? The first one is that it helps to protect lives and properties. If buildings are not safe, if buildings are not adequately constructed, then life is at stake. Our life is at stake. People who stay in the buildings, the workplaces are all following the building code. So if it's not properly constructed, then everyone will be at stake. Another reason is that this building safety helps to ensure that we have resilient buildings that will stand against fire, against flood, and against earthquake. Another reason is that building safety promotes energy efficiency and sustainability. So these days, you don't just build without putting into consideration sustainability and energy efficiency. You don't just buy any equipment or any materials in the building without considering the energy efficiency of those items. So that is what building safety is also trying to propagate. Then it supports public health and accessibility. So people with deformities or disabilities are not just neglected during building, especially public buildings. So building safety put into consideration everybody, both accessibility people and other persons. So let's look at some of the core international building codes known as the I codes. The first one is International Building Code. It covers all aspects of commercial buildings, IBC. International Residential Code, IRC, applies to one or two family dwelling and townhouse. So the buildings that one or two families will stay in is covered under International Residential Code, IRC. International Existing Building Code, IEBC, provides regulation for repairs and alteration of or additional changes to existing buildings. If you want to repair or alter existing buildings, then it must be in line with IEBC. The other one is International Fire Code. This one addresses fire prevention and fire protection systems. So if you, before you do anything about fire prevention, fire protection system, you must work in line with the IFC. International Plumbing Code, IPC, regulates plumbing systems to ensure safe water and sanitation. The other one is International Mechanical Code, IMC. It covers all the HVAC systems and related mechanical installations. International Fuel Gas Code, IFGC, regulates the installation of fuel gas systems and appliances. International Energy Conservation Code, IECC, promotes energy efficiency in buildings. International Green Construction Code, IGCC, focuses on sustainable building practices and environmental performance. The other one is International Property Maintenance Code, IPMC. This standard is set for maintenance of existing buildings. So any existing building that needs to be maintained, it has to be in line with IPMC. Another one is International Swimming Pool and Spa Code. This code ensures safety in design and installation of pools. International Wildland Urban Interface Code. This code addresses the fire risk in areas where urban development and wildland meet. The other one is International Zoning Code, IZC. It provides guidelines for land use and zoning regulations. ICC Performance Code offers a performance-based alternative to prescriptive codes. Then the last but not the least is International Private Sewage Disposal Code, IPSDC. This code regulates private sewage disposal systems. So these are the major or the core 15 codes, international building codes known as I codes. So let's look at some of the everyday impacts of building safety. The first one is homes. If our home is safe, then we should have safe electrical wiring. There should be safe fire exits. The structural integrity of the building should be adequate. In schools, the building safety ensures that there is earthquake-resistant designs. Then fire drills are adequately conducted to ensure that safe evacuation could be obtained or could be achieved during emergencies. Then ventilation, there is adequate ventilation of that building. In workplaces, the impact of building safety ensures that there is emergency exits, you have fire suppression systems, then there are accessibility provisions for accessibility people. Then public spaces, we ensure that you have safe stairways, you have safe elevators, the ramps are safe, and there are adequate signages to ensure that people are informed or there is adequate information through signages. So these are daily impacts that we observe where there are adequately planned building safety in place. So some of the real life examples, fire safety. In the buildings, you see smoke detectors, there are sprinkler systems, and these are installed to ensure that the building, lives, and properties are safeguarded from fire. In case there is fire or there is smoke, smoke detector detects it. And when there is fire, sprinklers goes off to ensure that it suppresses the fire. Then earthquake zones. Reinforced structures reduce casualties. If the structures are well designed in line with the ICC codes, then it can reduce the casualties, the earthquake may not have much effect on it. Then the other real life example is the COVID-19 response. During COVID-19, we saw how ventilation was a very important factor. We saw how spacing was a very important factor. So putting this into consideration in the ICC codes ensures that every building should have adequate ventilation. So this is one of the real life examples of having proper building safety in place. Okay, now let's conclude by looking at some of the roles that health and safety professionals can play in ensuring that building safety is achieved. The first one is risk assessment and hazard identification. It's our job on daily basis. We identify hazards, we conduct risk assessment. Some of the risk assessment we do written, some of them are on spot. So conducting risk assessment will help us to identify potential hazard like structural risk or fire hazards, even chemical exposures. We also evaluate the risk, ensure that the building construction activities follows the ICC code and follows the risk assessment and safe method statement. We recommend preventive measures to ensure that those risks or those hazards identified are adequately controlled. Then the next thing we do is we ensure that there is compliance with safety regulations with ISO 45001 or OSHA regulations. So we ensure that during the construction or even during the misuse or private use or public use, we ensure that it goes in line or in compliance with legal regulations. Then we promote safety culture. We ensure that the workers, contractors, everybody, they have proactive safety mindset, ensuring that they would not just wait for incident to happen before we take actions. We ensure that we take actions before there is an incident. We encourage reporting of unsafe practices and unsafe acts. We ensure that we lead by example by carrying out these campaigns like the Building Safety Month campaign that we are doing now. Ensure that we continue communicating, we continue laying emphasis on people following safe procedures and safe system of work. Then safety planning and training. We'll carry out trainings, PPE use trainings, we'll conduct emergency evacuation drills. We'll carry out all the trainings that needs to be carried out to ensure that people are well acquainted with whatever they need to do in event of emergency. Then we conduct incident investigation and reporting. This is part of our daily activities. We don't just wait for accident to conduct the investigation. We'll conduct investigation for near misses, conduct investigation for dangerous occurrences. So, and we recommend our findings, find the root cause, and ensure that adequate measures are put in place to control these near misses or incidents from reoccurring. Then we collaborate with other professionals. We ensure that we collaborate with the architects, the site engineers, the building inspectors, the supervisors. We participate in safety audits, ensure that safe system of work are in place and is adequately followed. So this and many more are some of the roles that health and safety professionals play in ensuring building safety during construction or even during use. So with this, I round off my presentation, and the next phase is for me to open the floor for others to contribute on the subject topic for the day. So thank you guys for your time.
Yes, I would just want to say, Mr. Johnson, I've done a lot of work today by extracting all the codes. I would say all the codes that is related and associated with building, because by virtue of privilege, I've been able to work within the facility management sector and I can attest to the fact of what you have said so far. And as you have rightly said, that this is a month of building safety month, because a lot of things are really going on within the facility. Unlike, I believe most of us, most of our experience probably might be in the oil and gas and construction, but there are a lot of safety related issues that we find in the building, especially when it comes to when they are using the chiller, the HVAC system and all that, the air quality within that environment. Like when you go to the shopping malls and all that, you see a lot of things have been done there, behind the scene that for us we don't know, that involves a lot of also some safety checks and all that. Even while in my previous facility, there are requirements from the Qatar Civil Defense. They always come annually for inspection. Everything need to be in place, because for Qatar, I think they use for the fire safety system, they use this NFPA, National Fire Protection Association. Because they have their own code also, which they use in from the design stage of a building. So before you get an approval here in Qatar for any building that is maybe above 2 floors or something like that, it's part of the requirements. Approval must come from the Qatar Civil Defense Department, where they must be able to see the drawing, the design, even from the construction stage. Before you commission the stuff, they will always come and see all those things, because it's when you talk about life safety is very, very important in facility. Because when you fail from the design stage, there's going to be, in fact, when we were managing that facility, which is a mall, we had another mall we were managing. That mall has been built since was completed 2011 in Qatar. I think the mall just started operation 2 years ago. And that operation was like partially because there was error from the MEP. Do you understand? So that caused a lot of problem. There was legal issues. Everywhere was just leaking, and you see, it's when you build a structure, all those things are very, very important. That when you follow the standard, the codes, and all that, one should be able to get a perfect result. And most of the time, that is one of the challenges most of these people have. I will just speak from the safety perspective. Most of the time, people do work. They believe safeties are not important at a particular stage until it gets to a final stage that, sometimes they just believe where we are involved is in the construction stage. When you go to a developed country like the UK, America, you see that even from where they produce, they design the material, they will consider safety from the design. Why is it that they bring equipment? When they bring equipment, they say manufacturer, what do they call it?
Guide,
Manufacturer is
guide.
guide and all that. Safety input is there. But in some part of the world, they just feel we are not relevant, we are not important. You understand? Safety is involved in every process, from design to production, construction, even to the final stage that this thing will be going. If it's consumable or if it's going to be used as material and all that, we are very important in that area. So that is why I keep encouraging people, depending on where you are as a safety professional, the field is also open, is always open. That I have a friend who is in the UK, is into biological safety. Biological safety. That's his job. And that's what she's enjoying. You understand? So, but in this part that we are, you'll be asking yourself, what you do biological safety, how do you want to fit in and all that? So it's just for us to encourage ourselves. And because after construction, it is building, right? So, and in this aspect, we should begin to look at the safety and facility. It is very, very important. I know it could be challenging in this part of the world because maybe it's not, in the facility, they might just decide to have maybe one or two safety in such facility that accommodated maybe 20 or 50 safety officers at the time it was being constructed. But for those of us who are still here, I also encourage us to also look at that aspect of safety. It's very wide and also a challenging environment that we can also learn a lot of things. Thank you very much. I would like others to make their input to this discussion.
Yeah, thank you very much, Mr. Francis. I just wanted to add on what you've said. Now, recently, we're also having a conversation about this safety in design. And I think Qatar has taken a very great step in this aspect for the fact that Qatar now require all designers to undertake this CDM course, construction design and management. As a designer in Qatar, if you are designing building, you shall undertake this CDM course, because this course is going to teach you safety in design. For example, when we're having this conversation, one of my colleagues brought up the example in the case of now this architect, these designers at the design stage, prior to introduction of this mandatory requirement, they would design buildings with funny shapes. And then during construction, they will go and meet safety professional. You tell us how we are going to work there. So for people who don't have experience, they might be cracking their brains, thinking how they are going to implement safe measures to work in that building. But experienced professional will tell the designers, when you were designing this building, what was your safety consideration? For example, I will use the example of the condom tower in Doha. So the designer, okay, what is the consideration of people who are cleaning this tower? Where are they going to put their
Anchor
anchor?
their
So you
lifelines
see
and
that,
all that. So.
yeah, you see that in the past, these designers, these architects, they were just making funny shapes. But since Qatar has made it mandatory that all designers should undergo this CDM course, when they are designing at this stage, they think about safety. So when they are designing funny structures, if they know that there will not be any safe way to go and execute this stuff, they might rethink and say, no, if this structure want to be like this, it's better we make it like this so that people can go and then walk safely. And then another thing I want to add is the issue about culture, which Mr. Johnson brought up in the slide. So also, I was having a conversation. This I didn't think about before, but one of my panelists, he asked me a question that I had to rethink. He asked me that, are we really following safety, or are we, is safety culture part of us? So I raised my hand, or I say, okay, I think safety, I'm a safety professional. I think safety culture is part of me. And then he asked me, I will ask you one simple question. Just give me the answer of this question. Then you will know if you are following safety, or safety is a culture which you practice even if professionals are not looking at you. Then he asked me, in your house or in your home back home, do you have a fire extinguisher or a fire system? Then I thought about it. I said no. And then this recall now on me that sometimes we as HSC professionals, we don't need to only think about practicing safety at the job site. Also at our home, the building in which we are living in, our family are staying inside, we need to make sure that we give proper consideration, like provision of fire extinguisher, or even smoke alarm, smoke detectors. So when I had the encounter, I had some grudges in me. I had to call back home and try to see if we can get some fire extinguisher and smoke detectors installed to make sure that people who are living in that building also are safe. So this is a small thing I want to add on my own part. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Emmanuel and Mr. Stephen. Thank you for adding a soothing touch to the topic. We have others there. So, do we have any other contributor?
Let me just say a little thing, regarding what Mr. Emmanuel just said about the safety culture. You see, I would just want to encourage us. You see, it is very important. What he has said is something that I've experienced in the past, and I've thought it wise that as a professional, we should be able to build the culture, not just from the organization. Even in my home, I have the fire blankets, I have fire extinguisher. I made it part of what I should be having at home as in case of emergency. Why I'm saying this thing is that we should make safety a cultural thing, not just at the place of work. My wife, see, we've seen many people who died in their bathroom because they went to take their bath, they sleep. In each of my bathroom I have in my home, I make sure that there's a bathroom mat. There's this mat that at least you can step your foot on. See, I'm very sensitive when it comes to that because was it last year, my son threw his water bottle up, okay? And already he has splashed water on the tiles. So when he was throwing it up, my wife tried to run towards the bottle so that the bottle does not hit his head. Unfortunately for my wife, she had a slip because she stepped on the water and on the tiles. She had a slip and she hit back of her head. For me, it was a miracle because I know many people who have died through that process. It looks very simple. This is home. This is not work site. If it is work site, we'll be talking, oh, there's an incident, blah, blah. I'm telling you because we had to take her to hospital. She had to do scan and everything for about 2 weeks. The way she was feeling, I was even scared. Do you understand? So even that incident that happened, there was something it put into me that I don't see if anything I can scold anybody. The adult at all when they make certain kind of mistake, especially when kids, because we have to be very, very careful. We need to take safety. It is when we take it to our own. That is when I can tell you that we have built a full safety culture. It's not only in the workplace, this thing should be practiced, even in our individual home. I can attest to it. I know people, even in this country, that died as a result of just simple sleep trip hazard or risks that are within them. So please, we should also, just like you raised that point, we should also start building that culture from our individual homes in the way we practice our lifestyles and all that. I think that will also speak more about us as a safety professional. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Mr. David, you are raising your hand. Can go ahead.
Good evening, all.
Good evening.
It's a very interesting topic. It's a topic that actually involves my scope. It's I'm into building construction. We build a lot of compound and estates, and so far it's been so good because I strongly believe that most times to achieve excellence, to achieve safety compliance, so much support needs to come from the top management. Initially, we had a project, a manager who was not giving priority to safety, and it affected some of the requests, some of the demands we make to improve the safety culture in the construction place. But currently, we had a new project manager who actually calls us for a meeting on how we can improve, what ideas, what thoughts we have. He involves us on every stage of the work and seeks our opinion on the way forward. So when it comes to building construction, especially building safety, it's one particular uh, system you put in place might not serve, it might not actually guarantee safety for the whole duration. As the work changes, as the scope of work changes, as there are new additions, as the work progresses, there are certain changes that are required to be made to continuously improve the safety of the people. So it's actually a good topic because this one actually encompasses all the codes of practice that can actually be quoted when we are making our advice, when we are giving advices, when we are informing them of the way forward, what we think is the best in the best interest of the company and in the best interest of the safety of the people. These codes of practice, which you actually raised here, is also very, very so that whenever you are advising someone on the way forward about something, you have to back it up with the reason why they should do this, why they should embrace this, why they should accept this. So it's actually a good topic, and I hope I will watch it again on the YouTube to grab every bit of it, so that it's going to be very, very important for us to apply this in our workplaces. So it's really a good topic, and I am really grateful to be here today. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. David. Thank you for always contributing.
Yes, Mr. It's Johnson. I want to say something. Good evening to you.
Good evening, sir. Go ahead.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. What it's a very nice topic we are discussing this evening. Yeah, I want to say this as pertains to Nigeria. You know how we always hear it in the news that there was a building it collapsed in Nigeria in Lagos, so and so. A story building collapsed. I believe that if we really had standards in Nigeria, we won't be having something like this. You see, some people want to build, and they will not use the right materials to build. Normally, when you are used to build a structure, but you find out that most of the time, you find out that the contractors or whoever is sublet the job to, at the end of the day, we want to uh, uh, corner these materials. We have heard of many cases of contractors, so subcontractors cornering these materials for themselves, then use quantity of cement or material for the job. You see, in the section of people that are going to be using the building, it's a bad contractors want to do such. Designers, designers not knowing the standards in foundation for structures, they will start giving you advice. I think these things are not supposed to be. I believe Nigeria is a country that should have developed to that level where every building before it's being built, we ought to follow the right codes. We ought to consult the right code that need to be consulted. In Nigeria, you see anybody say, I'm an engineer. Anybody you see on the work site, say, I'm an engineer. This is a very wrong thing. Building safety is a very broad topic, you see, and it's important that even before the the, the building starts to people start to get the operation using the building, the startup stage of building it at all, and every aspect of the structure ought to be looked into, because human lives is a very nobody has two lives, and life it takes milliseconds, even microseconds for somebody to get hurt. So life is a very fragile one, and we have to be very conscious of that. Then, as touching what Mr. Francis talked about, yes, we are safety professionals. Sometimes I find out that when I am even at the workplace trying to give an advice, let us use fire extinguishers, let us use this, let us use that. It will make me a hypocrite if I am not doing these things on my own. You see, you giving advice at the workplace because you know what our job is, really giving advice, telling people to do the right thing, having the right attitude, having the right mindset for work. You might with regard to safety, how workers should work safe, and you in your home, we're not really carrying these things out. You see, it's very important as safety professionals that in our various homes, we make sure that the standards which we are preaching in our workplace, let us also implement them because we have a life to live, we have a safe life to live. You see, people don't really regard safety until something happens, and let us not be that kind of safety professional that want to wait for something to happen to be reactive before we take actions. So thank you very much for your topic. I really appreciate it, sir. Well done, sir.
Thank you very much, Majide. Truly, we should not be hypocrites. Uh, we should practice what we preach. All right, Mr. Samara, you are waiting. You are raising your hand. Please go ahead. Mr. Samara, I thought you were raising your hand.
All right. Sorry, Mr. Johnson. I just want to discuss another something that I'm also curious about when it comes to building safety. I think somebody raised it at the beginning.
Yeah, go ahead.
I have an experience where I heard one story where one safety officer died in his room while taking bath because of this water heater. So I don't know how these things are done, but I think that these water heaters which are connected in our bathroom has an earth cable which uh, is supposed to carry any unwanted charges and send it to the earth. But there have been circumstances where people have been electrocuted while taking bath. So I just wish to know if anybody has an experience about how safe these heaters are. He can explain to us, because since that day I'm kind of skeptical to use to use our own water heater, because I fear that I can be electrocuted. Thank you.
You want to be electrocuted by the grace of God. I still need you because I'm pushing you too much. If you are electrocuted, so who am I going to push again? Okay. Good evening, everyone. Before we come back on Emmanuel question, thank you for this wonderful topic. Really, I'm very happy about this topic because I learned a lot of things, especially regarding the regulation we talk about here. I didn't know about most of this regulation. I think out of all the 15 regulation we mentioned here, I knew only two of them. So I'm very happy to learn again because every week I'm learning from you guys. Thank you very much for this wonderful presentation. I just want to focus on two points. The first one is, as health and safety professional, I've been working in a building project. Because I work with a MAP contractor and we have completed many building projects. One thing I really appreciate in this thing is workers' participation. Workers' participation is something that health and safety professional and other leaders don't consider that much when it comes to health and safety. But it is very, very important. A short story, one day we were having a very complicated activity. It was electrical work. During the testing and commissioning, they realized that there was a mistake when the ceiling has already passed. And the electrical team has to go correct this mistake. The ceiling has already passed, and we were all there thinking about how are we going to erect scaffolding to correct this mistake. They call scaffolding erectors, they call scaffolding supervisor, health and safety team, site engineers. We were all then thinking, cracking our brain how to erect safe scaffolding to reach that place. Imagine we spend like more than 30 minutes, at least an hour, I can say we didn't get solution about that. Then there was a workers there. The way he was reacting like beside us, I feel like the guy was doing what you guys are saying, man. This is very simple, you know. Something just took my mind and I called this guy. I say, I think you have something to say. Come, you have been working in different projects. How do you think we can erect safe scaffolding here? The guy was, no. He was a Bengali guy. All big mudir here in Qatar. He was all big mudir here. Me small person. What can I say? Big mudir speak. Okay, me no problem. Then the health and safety manager was like, no. It is not about having big mudir here. We need everyone's opinion. Then he gathered all the workers. And imagine that workers give us the solution about the problem. Health and safety professional couldn't do it. The scaffolding supervisors, scaffolding erectors, site engineers, no one was having the solution. Only the professional workers give us a solution that was adapted to our situation. So as a health and safety professional, when we are on site, especially on building projects, when we are facing a situation, workers' participation is very, very important. It has saved, from my side, I have witnessed this a lot of time, and it is very good to implicate them in our decision-making process. Mr. Emmanuel said that Qatar have adopted something I'm very proud of. I'm very happy that Qatar used that thing, and I wish many countries follow this process, because building safety is a part that health and safety professionals have to crack their brain. Many of us here has faced this situation. It is only in health and building safety that you will have situation that you have to think. Sometimes you will feel like you are stupid. Maybe you don't know what you are doing, or with all your experience, you look like someone that doesn't know anything, because you will face situation that is very complicated. Building safety is one of the safety field whereby the normal things is not working. Really. Like sometimes, if they say this is how you must erect safe scaffolding, you realize that in certain situations, if you use that safe scaffolding, you cannot do what you're supposed to do. You have to give some gap so that you can complete your activity. So this is the point I wanted to add about workers' participation in our decision-making process. It is very important. Again, thank you very much for this wonderful topic. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you for that wonderful contribution. So do we have any other contributor before we call it a day? I see we have a new guys. I appreciate your presence. Mr. Eddie, okay, you are not new. I see Aries. Joseph is not new. So thank you guys for joining today. And it's a pleasure to have us. And okay, David in Nigeria is still there. So Mr. David, thank you for joining. So next week we'll meet again for another interesting topic. And I'm also open for suggestions. If you have any topic you want to suggest, you want us to discuss, you can always reach out to me.
Okay, sir. Good evening, sir. I'm Eric Sankey. I'm glad to join this community. Thanks to Mr. Emmanuel who have been pushing me to join this community. I appreciate from what I am seeing. This is I think this is the second or third meeting that I am attending, even though the other one I was not that. What I have seen today, I have learned a lot from the quotes and the prediction and very I've learned. So I believe that this come to the speed of everyone. Thanks very much. I appreciate.
Thank you very much, Mr. Harris. You know, you are the first person that joined today, even when I was not even ready to start. You stayed from that moment up to now. So I really appreciate, and you are highly welcome to our team. We have a WhatsApp group for somebody that wants to join us in the WhatsApp group. You just send me personal message. I'll add you to the WhatsApp group. It's not something that will add everybody, but just we are forming our team who will be people who are dedicated. So thank you very much, guys.
Thank you.
The question Mr. Emmanuel asked, we are going to make a research. We'll come back to that. I don't want us to answer that question in a hurry. Let us go and sit down and make a research and come back to that. We'll come back to that
Hello,
topic.
Mr. Johnson.
Yeah.
Hello, Mr. Johnson. Yeah. I just want to talk. Not that I really want to talk so much about the topic he raised, but it's something of interest. Even me, the first time I saw, many years ago, the first time I saw that water heater in the bedroom, I desisted from using it because uh, you know,
Yeah, network is really, really not favorable. We didn't hear all you said. We didn't hear.
that heater, you can cause electrocution.
Yeah, it was having network issue. But actually, I don't want us to rush into this because for me, personally, I want to go into more detailed research because I know there are more modern heaters that are energy conservative in nature, and the level of their energy emission is very low that it will not support that level of electrocution. So, but I want to get more details of the differences of those energy levels and all those things. So that we will not have heard of those incidents. I've read of them. I've also watched some of those incidents, but I've not given it much thought. So now that you brought it up, it's a more thought-provoking one. And I know Stephen also will have to take some time, research, and even if we make it half of our discussion next week, so we'll be able to talk more about it and propagate awareness on that. So that is it from me.
It's okay, we'll brainstorm on that.
Yeah, we'll brainstorm on that. All right, guys, thank you very much for joining. Let's go and have a dinner and have a rest.
Thank you, sir.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Happy weekend to everybody.
Happy
Thanks.
weekend, sir.
Happy weekend. Thanks.
Enjoy what Trump brought for you people, eh?
No be small.